What's up, guys? It's Dan from Coin Bureau Trading, back at it again with another crypto market update. Today we've got Cardano, Chainlink, and Algorand. I'm sure you're all wondering what's up with these cryptos, especially given the crazy price action we've had over the last 24 hours. If this is the kind of content that you enjoy, then be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ping that notification bell. Before we get started, guys, do keep in mind that nothing in this video is financial advice. It's just my personal analysis of these cryptos. Your analysis could be different, and honestly, guys, if it is, that's awesome, because the more difference of opinion we have, the better traders, the better investors we're all going to become. With that being said, let's dive right into Cardano here. One thing that's really interesting is that ANZENS, which, if memory serves, is something that's powered by Emergo, or rather it's like a DeFi initiative that was created by Emergo, and which is one of the companies that's kind of like working on Cardano. ANZENS has launched the USDA stablecoin, which is fully backed. It's kind of like a classic, like centralized stablecoin, let's say. And those of you who aren't super familiar with Cardano is, of course, one of the shortcomings, I would say, and I think many would agree, that Cardano has had is that it didn't really have like a really trustworthy large stablecoin on its chain. If memory serves, I think this was also because Charles Hoskinson, the founder, was saying, like, of course, he didn't want the chain to become taken over by like Tether or Circle. They wanted something that I guess like a stablecoin that they could trust, like, that the ecosystem could trust, let's say. And of course, so the launch of USDA here, which happened, I believe, yesterday, is very warm welcome. The only kind of caveat is that it's currently not available to retail. Here it says retail access isn't live yet, but it looks like it'll be coming to retail soon enough. I suspect that this will probably happen once there's changes to stablecoin regulations in the US. So this is probably something that's going to take a couple weeks, but who knows? Hopefully we'll get something a little bit sooner. There's actually a stablecoin bill working its way through Congress right now, which will hopefully be passed in the coming weeks. With that being said, guys, we can turn over to the ADA chart here, and I guess it's looking kind of like what you'd expect. I guess no real changes since we last covered Cardano last week. It's still struggling around this $1 support level here. It did get a little bit above, of course, heading into the inauguration, but again, as I've been mentioning, guys, especially if you're trading, you need to wait until these resistance levels are breached. You need to see at least a daily close or two above that resistance before you get too excited about this $1.75 target. For those of you who missed that video, of course, the target math here is really straightforward. All we do is we look at the starting point of this most recent move. This is on the daily chart, by the way. If you're wondering, this is not the 4-hour, this is not the 15-minute, this is the daily. The starting point of this most recent move is somewhere quite clearly around 75 cents. We have a resistance level of around $1.25. The difference between those two levels is, of course, 50 cents. And then all we have to do to get the target is take the difference, add it to the resistance, and that gives us a target of $1.75, which, of course, from the current price, you'd be looking at an upside of around 75%, which is not too shabby at all. And if you're planning on trading, then from that level, the upside would be around 40%. But yeah, guys, all things considered, I'm sure you're all wondering when is this target going to be hit? I think it's going to happen in the next couple of weeks here. Potentially the launch of this ANZEN stablecoin for retail will be one of the factors. I do think that one thing that a lot of these larger cryptos like Cardano, XRP, Algorand, the things that their market caps are very large, but the size of their on-chain ecosystems is comparatively small. And a lot of people say, oh, you're just like spreading FUD or whatever. But on the contrary, guys, I think that actually presents a pretty big opportunity, because if you have a crypto like Cardano that has like a market cap in the tens of billions, and then the on-chain TVL, I think last I checked, is somewhere in the hundreds of millions, probably even less than that, then obviously there's a huge discrepancy there that's just waiting to be filled, and the launch of the stablecoin is going to help with that, and that's really going to boost not just ADA, but especially the altcoins in Cardano's ecosystem. And we'll come back to where you can find those kinds of altcoins towards the end of the video when we talk about the Coin Bureau Club. Right now, of course, I do need to shill the Coin Bureau deals page here. We do have a Binance deal with a 20% trading fee discount and up to $600 in bonuses. I've said this in every video, I'm going to say it again, guys. These trading fee discounts don't cost you anything. They're completely free to take advantage of. The exchange gets a new user, you get a trading fee discount, and we get a cut of those fees, which is how the Coin Bureau makes its money. We have no agenda here. We're not sponsored by Ethereum or Solana or anything. We get a lot of accusations of that. It's really funny. Whenever we mention anything negative about Cardano, they say, oh, you're paid by Ethereum or paid by Solana. We're not paid by anyone, guys. We don't care what your favorite crypto is, so long as you're interested in buying it or selling it or trading it. This is where you can find the best deals, is on the Coin Bureau deals page. And in the case of Binance, definitely do take advantage of that. Those trading fees do add up. I know that from experience. So again, check out the link in the description if you're interested. We do also have deals in other exchanges like OKX and KuCoin. So if you prefer not to use Binance, or you can't for whatever reason, then we do have other deals there, and you can see there's one for Bybit here as well. So now, guys, moving on to Chainlink. This is where things get very interesting. Of course, Link is one of the cryptos that Trump's World Liberty Financial, like this DeFi protocol that's going to be launched by Donald Trump. it's been accumulating a bunch of altcoins, primarily on Ethereum. And it's interesting that it's been accumulating Link here. I think over the last 24 hours, they purchased $4.7 million worth of Link, which was, of course, I guess, to celebrate Trump getting the 47th presidency there. But that's really bullish. And I know that Sergey Nazarov, the founder of Chainlink, was I think he was in Washington. I don't know if he attended the actual inauguration, so you guys can fact check me on that. But I know that he was in Washington yesterday and speaking with a lot of people, meeting with a lot of people. And of course, given Chainlink's involvement in World Liberty Financial, I do think that link is going to be in the news a lot, and I do think it's going to do very well. Turning to the chart here, I would say that we see that quite clearly reflected. You can see that leading up to the inauguration, Link had a nice rally here, and it has not given back these gains. It's still holding strong, even though the rest of the market is kind of languishing here, let's say. And again, guys, the target math here is super simple as always. Taking a look at this most recent price action, the starting point is quite clearly somewhere around $20. Resistance, I would say, is somewhere around $27. The difference between those two levels is $7. So all we have to do is add the difference to the resistance, and we get a target of $34. And you can see here, guys, it's actually crazy that Link was hitting up to this resistance level. It actually rallied up to this $27 level over the weekend, or I guess yesterday and over the weekend. So that kind of confirms to me that yes, this is the resistance level, and this is the level you need to watch if you're trading. You need to wait until Link gets above this level before going long or anything crazy like that. And do keep in mind that it could fall as low as $22 if it gets rejected from that level. With all that being said, guys, I don't think that Link is going to be going much lower from here. Maybe it'll be a little bit of a pullback, maybe like $23. I don't think it's going back to $22. I do think it's going to get above this resistance level here in the coming days, especially now that World Liberty Financial has finished its token sale. I imagine the protocol is going to be launching fairly soon, and when it does, I do think that's the catalyst that's going to take Link above this resistance and potentially all the way to that target. And again, this is going to happen here, I think, over the next couple of weeks. It's not going to happen overnight. We're on the daily chart here as always. So yeah, just do keep in mind that when I'm talking about these targets, these are not cycle top targets. These are not targets that are going to be hit overnight. These are targets that are going to be hit in the coming weeks. And then at that stage, we assess how prices are looking, and we say, okay, how much higher could it go? Or is it time for a correction? Maybe it'll hit $34, fall back to 27, chop in that range before moving higher. Who knows, guys? We have to take things one step at a time. This is the strategy that I've seen being used by some of the most successful traders, and it's one that I employ personally, and so far, so good, to put it lightly. Anyways, guys, moving on to Algorand. Of course, those of you who've been keeping up with the channel, I guess specifically my videos, you'll know that that the catalyst that's coming up for Algorand here is basically improved staking rewards that are coming in January 2025. Of course, we only have 10 days left of the month, so time is running out, let's say. But I do think that these Algo staking rewards will be coming very soon, and it's probably going to coincide to some executive orders being signed. That means that like U.S. users won't be scared about staking. They'll be able to stake. There won't be any risks there. I could see a scenario, something like where there's no taxes on staking rewards. I don't know if this is something that's been going around. I know there's a lot of rumors around like tax stuff. That's a whole other rabbit hole, guys. But I could see something like no taxes on staking rewards. Same way that there should maybe be like no taxes on like crypto mining or something like that. This is something like a middle ground possibility that I think not many people are talking about, but something that's a little bit more realistic than like no taxes on capital gains on crypto, which I don't think is going to happen, to be honest, although there is a compelling case to be made for it. Anyways, guys, point being, Algorand has this catalyst that's coming up, so now we can turn to the chart. Similarly to Chainlink, not as strong as Chainlink, but almost. I definitely get the sense here that you can see it's kind of like curling up for a nice upward move, and I do think that the 72-cent target is going to be hit sooner than later. Of course, we're on the daily, so it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a couple of weeks here. With that being said, let's go through the target math here. The starting point of this most recent move, quite clearly somewhere around 32 cents. Resistance, quite clearly somewhere around 52 cents. The difference there, of course, is around 20 cents between these two levels. All we have to do is take the difference, add it to the resistance, and we get a target of 72 cents, which, of course, from the current level, you'd be looking at around a 70% gain, which is not too shabby at all. And of course, if you're going long from that resistance level, it could be around a 38% gain. And but with that being said, I do think that this resistance level will be hit here. Probably the staking rewards will be the thing that gets it to resistance. It's going to be, and I should have mentioned this for the other cryptos as well. It's going to be this weird kind of combo where we're still waiting for these crypto executive orders to come out. I probably should have mentioned that earlier in the video. So it's possible that the executive orders will be the things that will be the thing that takes Algo to this resistance level. Same thing for Link, potentially same thing for Cardano. So basically, the resistance level will be hit by the executive orders, and then this target will be hit by the specific catalyst that's related to these crypto projects. On the flip side, it could be the case that these shorter term catalysts, like the introduction of staking rewards, launch of World Liberty Financial in the case of Chainlink, and potentially opening up the stablecoin to retail users on Cardano, these could be the catalyst that take these cryptos up to their resistance levels, and then the catalyst that takes them to the target is the executive orders, if that makes any sense. But given that I think the executive orders are going to be coming sooner, I do think that the catalyst for all these cryptos to hit these resistance levels will be these executive orders, and then those targets will come a little bit later, again, probably over the next couple of weeks here. Anyways, guys, by this point, if you made it this far, then you know what time it is. It's time to chill the Coin Bureau Club here, which is where we do deep dives into promising small cap and mid caps every single week. We literally do like a 20 or 30 minute super deep dive video into these promising small caps, and of course that's where we're looking into cryptos. Like in Cardano's ecosystem, in Algorand's ecosystem, stuff like that. We do weekly polls where we add these cryptos for our members to vote. The way we find these cryptos is a combination of our research as well as the research of our members. They make a lot of really awesome suggestions. We take a look, and if they look good, we add them to the poll. Everyone votes on it, and then whichever crypto wins is the one that we review. And of course, going to the research feed here, this is where I'm sharing the insights that you guys are familiar with here at the end of these videos. Members of our research team are also sharing insights there as well every single day. It's super interesting stuff there, I must say. We also showcase our personal crypto portfolios as well as the cryptos we're considering adding to our portfolios. We have an exclusive deals page with discounts on like crypto analytics platforms and stuff like that were pretty hard to negotiate from what I heard, but we did get those deals done, let's say. And then we also have a members Discord where you can come and discuss with the community. We have a lot of alpha there. There's no shilling, no like pumping and dumping, nothing like that. We really try and go after this alpha, like these next top cryptos. And I'm also doing technical analysis on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and certain altcoins in the Discord every single day. And of course, I do take requests, and if I have the time, then I will do them. It's not something that we promise, but it's something that I like to do when there's time. With that being said, guys, it's about time we got to the alpha. This is actually something that I shared yesterday in the Coin Bureau Club, and I do think that it's something that's worth sharing with you guys here. Basically, there's this blockchain called Story Protocol, and it looks like its mainnet is basically, or I guess its mainnet technically launched yesterday or 2 days ago. Sorry, the Genesis block, and it looks like the mainnet, or like the public mainnet, is going to be coming very soon. And this is really interesting, guys, because Story Protocol has raised a lot of money from US VCs. Story Protocol seems to have connections to like virtuals and these AI agents. It's basically a blockchain for IP, which is intellectual property, which those of you who are kind of really deep into the AI stuff, you might know that one of the problems with AI is that AI is using a lot of copyrighted content, and there's a lot of questions about like, okay, like is there a way that we can have AI using this copyrighted content and giving like royalties back or something? And the only way to really do that is with blockchain, right? That's the only way you can do it with this AI generated content, is for everything to kind of be tracked, which of course is a little bit dystopian. Let's say it could result in some unwanted outcomes. But the point being, guys, that this is a very, very big crypto project that seems to be on the brink of launching. I do think that when this when the mainnet or goes public, let's say, I do think that this is going to boost virtuals like those AI agents, which have been pretty beaten down. I do think that it's going to boost potentially other crypto projects that are involved, like this Aptos's emoji coins, which I was talking about yesterday. Seems that there's some relationship there potentially. I honestly don't know what's going on there. That was part of my research feed post yesterday, is trying to understand, like what are the connections here. But yeah, the Story Protocol is looking very interesting, and it looks like it's going to launch. And in case you guys are wondering how much it raised, 134 million, with the most recent round being from A16Z in August last summer. And of course, the main shtick, the main let's say the main purpose of this crypto project is just to keep track of like intellectual property on the blockchain, so that it can be leveraged by AI in a proper way, and that there's no lawsuits or anything like that against AI developers. But yeah, guys, so this is a really interesting crypto project to watch. It's not one I'm going to be buying personally. It's more something just to keep an eye out, because I do think this is going to have like a secondary effect. It's going to reignite, I think, speculation in virtuals and potentially other things like emoji coins. That's like the key takeaway here. It's not something I'm going to be aping into. And as a rule of thumb, guys, like when a crypto project launches, I would say 9 times out of 10 when it launches, it goes up like crazy on the first couple days, and then it just like completely crashes, right, as all the insiders start selling. So I'm not saying that's going to happen with Story Protocol here, but it's definitely something I've noticed, and it's why I personally I try and stay away from newer cryptos. I'm not really a fan of newer cryptos because you're just going to get dumped on for the most part. Anyways, guys, if you did make it this far, then be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, ping that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one.